afternoon, good evening, all the participants from all over the world. Today, we are going to have a session on data-driven decision making using Azure Cognitive Services. And the speaker of the day is Bhargavi Chakravarti. And yeah, moving to who we are, what we are. We are multi-cloud for you. We are we are we are the we are we are the, we have over hundreds and thousands of strong community of technologists from all over the world. We deal with multi-cloud strategy, data science and AI, blockchain and stream engineering. We also help technologists to share their learning and get opportunities through our partners worldwide. This is short infography of how we are growing. We have 8+ events associated with our platform, and we have conducted 1,000+ sessions till now, and we have 300+ speakers associated with our platform, and we have 20,000, 7,000+ members associated with our platform. These are the few master mentors and MEPs of our community, that is www.fifthir.com. We are an academic partner of Alibaba Cloud, and these are the few courses which we have done in line with Alibaba Cloud. And you can take these courses through our platform www.fifthir.com, and you can get the certificate directly from Alibaba Cloud. And how we can help you? We can help you to build your knowledge, digital presence, and help you not always when you are looking for jobs through our community. And all you can access through our URL www.fifthir.com. As a part of our community, we are going to provide free level 1 certificate for all the participants, and you can access the certificate by providing the secret code, and the secret code will be provided at the end of the session. And this is a sample certificate which you can get, and you can share the certificate to all the social media platform directly from our portal. Moving to the speaker of the day, it is Bhargavi. She's a senior software engineer at top Fortune 500. She's a Microsoft certified trainer, a global speaker, and she has done community activities in many of the sessions, and he's a blogger. And these are the few certifications which she has got from Microsoft, and you can see more about her in the given LinkedIn profile. Without any ado, over to Bhargavi.
Hi all, thanks for joining today's session. That too on a Sunday morning. I really appreciate your passion for learning. And in today's session, we would be seeing about data-driven decision making, anomaly detection using the Azure Cognitive Service, in which we would be covering about how to detect the anomaly detection with the help of cognitive service, and we would also be seeing what are the use of cognitive service and it how we can use it in our daily life. And cognitive service is now called as Azure AI service. Before we get into the brief and short introduction of myself. I am a senior software engineer working for Ford and through L&T, and I am an MTech graduate from BITS Pilani and a Microsoft certified trainer and holding more than 6 certifications. And I am a global speaker, and I had spoken many communities like AZConf, C Sharp Corner, and there are a lot of communities that I had spoken. And I am a blogger and author, and I do write blogs and articles at my free time. Please do visit in my blogs and article at this QR by scanning this QR. And to get in touch with me, please do scan in my LinkedIn QR here. And with that, I am also a platinum member and a top 500 member at C Sharp Corner. Okay. With that, I am stepping into the agenda for today's session, where we would be seeing what are the cognitive services uh, and its overview. Also, we would be seeing what are the different services that are available under the cognitive service, and how what is anomaly detection and how it is being used in Azure, and what is the prerequisite that is necessary for anomaly detection in Azure. And we would also be seeing what are the different anomaly detectors that are available in Azure with in respect of cognitive service, and how we would also be covering on how do we connect to different applications from the cognitive service. With that, I am stepping into today's topic, where we would be seeing what is machine learning, with the introduction of what is machine learning, data science, and everything. We would be starting with that. So, artificial intelligence is it is like intelligent software and agent that is being used for helping the developers to build an intelligent software and agents. And machine learning is like use of data and algorithm to train and get a predictive model, from which we can use the machine learning inside the artificial intelligence, and can train the software apps and agents to get more intelligent. And data science is like it's application of mathematical and statistic techniques to analyze the data, where the machine learning and artificial intelligence and machine learning together combine and put into the part of data science, and we would be able to have the intelligence of both being put inside the data science, and we would be able to develop the software applications and agents in a better way. So that is where the data science would be playing a major role. When it comes for what is artificial intelligence and how it has been used under the Azure, it's like the software that exhibits the human like activities. Like it would be able to have the visual perception, which is like the one which we would be seeing on the computer vision inside the Azure AI. And text analysis, it is like it would be able to read the details from the text that you had provided on, and it would be able to recognize the speech and can respond you back in the way that it would be able to have, which is in terms of speech. And decision making, um, we would have the decision being performed by itself, and it would be having the decision being performed under it. So when it comes for Azure machine learning, what it does is that it's a it's a cloud platform for creating and operating machine learning solutions, where you would be having the data, and with the data you would be having the experiments being performed, and developing a model for you, and build applications and insights for you, and you would deploy it and make it useful. So that is where the machine learning is being useful under the Azure. So when it comes for Azure machine learning, it is a you have the enhanced version of AI and cognitive service, which is like it is where the name is said to be the cognitive service, where it is a pre-packaged AI service that can integrate into multiple solutions. That multiple solutions can be of different capabilities that includes language, speech, visions, and decision making. So when it comes for language, when it comes language, you do have text analysis, question answering. You would be able to have the text analysis, Q&A maker, and then you would able to build a chatbot for you, and you would be able to understand the language that the chatbot gives you, and it can also translate your particular um, details into a different language, and from there you would be able to have the language studio being in use, and you can use the cognitive service for that purpose. And when it comes for speech, you have different kind of applications over there as well. Like you would be able to have the speech recognition, speech translation, if you want to get the if you want to understand what the other person talks, or if you want to understand and write a MOM, minutes of meeting, right? As well, like it would be recognizing the speech, and it would be writing the speech of minutes of meeting by itself, and it would be writing inside the OneNote or whatever the language, that whatever the application that you want to integrate it with, you would be able to cover it. So the cognitive service are being used for the speech um, under these capabilities. And when it comes for vision, you would be able to use it for image analysis, video analysis, image classification. Like if you want to analyze some kind of image with the and if you want to do some optical character recognition, which is OCR, or if you want to do some kind of form recognizer, then all these data comes under the services of applied AI service, which is under the vision. And when it comes for decision, you would be able to use the anomaly detection, content moderation, content personalization, and all these data can be used under the decision of Azure Cognitive Service. And now, in an enhanced way, the Azure Cognitive Service is now being called as Azure Applied AI Service, which is Azure AI Services. And inside the Azure AI Services, you would not be given all these kind of different things over there. Instead, it is a very simple form. It is of very simple names that are being called as, like form recognizer, metrics advisor, video analyzer for media, and bot services, cognitive service, and then anomaly detection. So all these are some of the Azure applied AI services that are now available under the different name. So the services that are being offered earlier are now offered with a different name under a different I mean, with the earlier it was under cognitive service, and now it is under AI services. With that, let me go into the brief of what is anomaly detection, where the anomaly detection is like a pre-packaged AI service that allows you to integrate with different solutions, and there can be of a number of use case that you would be able to use this anomaly detection. And it is like something which would be used to detect if it goes out of the ordinary, and it you can use it with the help of set of API used to connect to other applications. and you would be enabling it to monitor and detect anomalies in your time series data, as well as with the anomaly detection in Azure, you just have to know a little bit of machine learning language, either the batch validation or the real time interface that what you are currently doing for. And you would be able to have the various kind of APIs that will enable you to monitor and detect the anomalies, and with that you would be able to have the various kind of feature and various kind of feature, and that also implies with the multiple variables inside it. So these are some of the anomaly detection. This is the introduction of anomaly detection that has been used under the Azure. And when it comes for how it is being trained under the Azure, so we have the different kind of SR, like the state of art approach, and which is like the earlier salinity direction. And with that, it your time series input is being put into the spectral residual, and that what happens is that it would be going into the 1D dimension, and it would get connected with the various CNN networks that are available, and it would be giving you the output in the sigmoid format. And with that, it would be predicting you the anomaly if there is any, with the help of the CNN network. And it I mean it's the background of how it would be able to work. And with this, how much ever data that you train in, it would recognize the data, and it would be putting back to you saying this is where your anomaly can happen, and this is where how to protect yourself as well. And when it comes for anomaly detection in Azure as a whole, you have two kind of anomaly detection that has been available. One is univariate, and second one is multivariate anomaly detection. In univariate anomaly detection, what you would be doing is that you would be detecting anomalies in one variable that can be either of revenue or cost, that can be of anything that depends just on the one variable. And here the model will be selected automatically based on your data pattern. And with this, you don't have to know the machine learning, or you don't have to even know the um, basics of machine learning as well, and you can just go ahead and start using it without uh, I mean the algorithms adapt by automatically identifying and applying the best fitting models to your data, and it gives you back the data that it wants. So with that, it is kind of low code no code model. With that, you would be able to using it. And when it comes for the features that are available under the univariate anomaly detector, is that we have three different kind of features that are available. And one is streaming detection, second one is batch detection, and change point detection. So with the streaming detection, what you can do is that you would be able to see the previously seen points that are used to determine your latest one as an anomaly. And like it would be looking at your previous one data, and it would be predicting the anomaly. And in this operation, it the model gets generated with the points that you send, and it would be determining a target point and the target point would be the anomaly, where you can monitor the data as it is being created. And when it comes for batch detection, you would be you use your time series data to detect any anomalies that might exist throughout your data. And this operation generates a model using your entire time series data, with each point being analyzed with the same model. In the earlier version, you have each for each prediction you would be having each model being generated, and here you would be having everything being generated under the one model. And there is something other one which is called as change point detection as well, that has been anomaly detection, where you use your time series data to detect the trends in the change, uh, and you use your trends in the change, and you would predict that with the help of the existing data. And with that, the operation generates a model using your entire time series data, with each point analyzed with the same model. With that, I am I am going into the second variation of anomaly detection that has been available in Azure, which is multivariate anomaly detection, where the multivariate anomaly detection is something which is used to detect the anomalies in different variation, in different variable with correlations. Like in earlier one, it was just one variable, right? Here, it is multiple variations that are available with correlations. And here, what happens is that it would be usually gathering the equipment or whatever the complex system that it would be gathering the data, and with that data it would be predicting the graph on which part of the series that the anomaly can fall in. Like in the graph that what I have been displayed here, you have two kind of things that the anomaly can happen, right? One is on the mid of the point, where almost all the data is in red, and that is where your anomaly detection can happen. Consider a car building car manufacturing unit, or consider some cases like you have a credit card fraudulent data. You would be able to predict the series of the data, where your if this happens, then this would be your next set of actions that needs to be taken. So that is where it depends on multiple variables that are available, and that is where the multivariate anomaly detection comes in role. And you would be able to have that in use in the form of Azure Cognitive Service. And it's kind of unsupervised learning with no need of labels being mentioned to it, and you don't have to mention the label every time to it. Instead, it starts learning by itself, and it would be predicting the output to you in the basis of the anomaly detection. And um, with this, we saw what are the different kind of variations that are available under the multivariate and univariate anomaly detections. And now let's see how can we provision the cognitive service resources that is being available, and how can you use it for your anomaly detection. So what you can do is that you all you need is a active Azure subscription. And with the active Azure subscription, you have to you have to go to the applied AI service that is now available, which is earlier in the form of cognitive service. And from there, you would be able to access each and every cognitive service that are available, and it is available in the free version as well as in the standard version based on the subscription that you opt for. And what you can do is that this cognitive service, you can develop it in the Azure, and you can connect it to different kind of programming language, or you can connect it to uh, you can connect it to whatever the data that you want this cognitive service to work for, so you can do that. Maybe I will be explaining what is what and how do we create the cognitive resources, and how do we create the resource for um, resource for particular anomaly detection in the demo part. Until then, just wait for the next slides to complete. Okay. What you can do to connect the endpoint, what you can do to connect the cognitive service to the other application is that you have something called as endpoint key and location that has been available under the Azure, where it would be available under the key. It would be available under the key of the resource that you had created for, and with that you would be taking up the endpoint. So what you can do is that you would be creating the cognitive service, and with the cognitive service you would be having the resource being allocated to you, and that would be under the key and endpoints. You would get the key and endpoints from the resource, and you would connect it with the application that you whatever that what you want for. And what happens in the form of Azure Cognitive Service REST API is that you would be requesting for the HTTP request to the resource endpoint, and the key gets generated in the request header, and the input will be in the form of JSON format, and the service returns in the form of JSON format as well. So what happens is that it just hits up the request would be hitting up the HTTP, and the response would be happening based on the key and the endpoint that you had specified on. With that, I am going, when you want to see for the pricing part, there are few transactions that free, and there are few transactions that are available for the standard version as well, and it all depends on the way of that how much ever transaction that what you want to opt for. And it would be based on the free and standard version, and you would be able to have the pricing tier based on the same. And if it's a web or container, or if you want to just host it on web, then that would be the pricing of the anomaly direction that what you want to opt for. With that, I am jumping into the demo session for today. So what you want is that what all you want is that you would be able to have the Azure AI service in. You have to log in into the portal.azure.com, and with that you would be going and searching for the Azure AI service. And inside the Azure AI service, there is something available called as anomaly detector over here. When you click on create, you would be able to have the anomaly detection being created for you for every kind of resource that you create. You have something called as resource group that has been available under the Azure, where it is just like a tagging whenever you want to delete or remove something, you can just refer it and you can make use of it. So you just have to give over the network, give over the new one or map it to the same resource group that you had been working earlier, and you can give the name for the anomaly detection, and you can go ahead with the creation for it. You can choose the pricing tier. Since I had selected the free earlier and had kept it as and had been and the earlier one has been used, it is now allowing me just to create with the standard one, and it is not allowing me to use the free tier. So with the selection of all these, I am now clicking on the create, and the anomaly detection inside the Azure gets created now. Now you would be giving on create, and that gets deployed, and it would come and your resource will get deployed, and it will be available in just 2 minutes of time. And when it's all done, you can go to the resource of that particular anomaly detection that what you had created for. Just a second, let it get deployed, and post that we would be seeing on how does the how do we go and get the key endpoint and everything, and how can we connect it with the code that what we have. Meanwhile, let this be aside, and let us go into the coding part. Okay. Okay. Now the resource got created. So let's continue here itself. So what we can do is that you can go and you can search for the key and endpoint that has been available here, and which would be available under the key and endpoint, which is available under the resource that what you had created for in the anomaly direction. And there would be two keys that would be available, and you can go ahead and use the any one of the key, as well as you have to copy the endpoint as well. Once you had did both these ones, you now have to connect Python or some kind of code that what you have. So what happens here is that you have to give few uh, prerequisites that are being available. One is you have to add an azure.ad.anomaly detector, and you have to import the anomaly detector client, and then you have to add an you have to add in everything from it, and you have since you are using the key credentials as well, you would be going ahead and using the Azure core credentials, and you would be importing the Azure key credential, and with that you would jump into the session where what it's all the same process that what you do for the regular way of coding your particular data that what you would be looking for. Give it the endpoint and subscription key here, and you would make it as you would call the anomaly detector being anomaly detector, and with this endpoint and the subscription key. So before we even go to the next step. uh, until here you would be coding, right? So as a next step, what you have to do is you will be having a CSV file, or you would be having your particular data that what you want to look the anomaly for, right? So for that, what you have to do is you have to go and search for storage accounts, and inside the storage accounts you now have to create a blob or container for yourself, and you should deploy the particular a code that what particular CSV or the whole folder that what you want to look the anomaly for. And with for that, what you would be doing is that you would be going and clicking on the create, and you would be mapping to the same resource group where the uh, resource had been created, and you would be giving the storage account name as well, um, and mapping the region that what you want for, and clicking on the standard and redundancy, and then you would be going for the next part and clicking the individual containers. And if you want to give the authorization as well, you would be giving on it. Since I had not given a name for it, it would be throwing up the error for me. Just a second. Okay. With that, what I am doing is that I would be enabling the public access from all the network, and this is important step that you want to for while you are creating a storage account. This should be possible because whenever you want to access the blob or the container, it would be looking public access from all the network, and that is where you would be able to add in the data. And post that, you can look for the data protection as well, and these all things has to be enabled, and you have to retain your you can specify the number of days, and you can even specify the number of days that you want to that even if blob is being deleted, or if your container is being deleted, you can maintain it. And it is like when it would be in the format of encryption, right? So you can specify under which file it would be supporting, like only the blob and file it would be supporting, or all type of data it would be supporting, and it should be blob and files only when you start typing in, and then you would be reviewing everything and would be creating. When you had reviewed everything, it just takes a few minutes of time, and it allows you to create your storage account for yourself. And when the storage account has been created, what happens is that it would allow you to upload, and you can use the details for uploading the data of CSV or the whole file as such. You can use it as a blob folder. And I'm not going to wait until now because I had already created a storage space, because the creation of storage space and adding the details in it takes a little time, though it takes the deployment being successful. But uh, you want to upload the data being that has been available inside it, right? So what you can do is you have to create a container for yourself. Once the storage has been created, you would be going to the container, and with that container you would be adding in a name, and you would be clicking on the create. Once you had, maybe I can show that. clicking on the create. Once you had created, it would get displayed, and it would get displayed in the same screen, and post that you would be able to have the upload or the data that you want to upload being available by clicking on the name that what you had mentioned for, and clicking on the upload. You would have the option to upload your data, where I'm just uploading the data of this particular CSV alone, and it gets uploaded within few minutes on your data size that what you had been giving on. And once you had did all these steps, you now have to go back to the properties and get the URL from your container and keep it ready. Once you had fetched your URL, this is the blob URL that you are requesting for, and this is where it would look at the data from the code, and you have to now connect your blob with the code. So for that, what you would be doing is that you would be coming here, like we had made the connection between the anomaly detection resource with the help of N key and the subscription, right? It's the same way that you would be coming over here and you would be giving the details of the blob URL as well. Like you would be defining all the steps that you what you want to do for, like it if it has expected the columns that it has, and then you would be giving the sensitivity, and you would define everything. You would define everything that what you want for your data to get trained, and then you would come and connect your blob here. Like in this case, so we are not connecting the blob here. It's just the it is dependent on the single point. So we are not connecting the blob here. For single point, it can just be the only one based on one variable, right? So what you would be specifying is you would just give all those details, and you would run it in a regular way, and when the connection has been established, it would be popping up for your data with all the connectivity that it needs for. Like in this case, let me open that CSV sample. I'm just having 4 minutes of time to complete, so I'm just rushing up. Okay, I just have these kind of five columns in my place, 5 to 6 columns in my place. Series, it would be predicting on what kind of value. It is a time series data, so it is like based on the time series, it would be predicting the value of it. So I had already run this particular program, and what it does here is that it would be predicting your particular data, and with that you would be giving the with the time series data, you would be giving the frequency. So this is one sample that what we can do for uh, connecting the univariate anomaly detection. And when it comes for multivariate anomaly detection, this is where your container and blobs, everything comes in place. So what you would be doing is that multivariate anomaly detection is something which came in recently, like around 10 to 15 months back. And from this, what you can do is that you would be able to get the variables like connecting the multiple variables with correlation, right? So what you have to do is you have to now connect the storage account, and with the storage account you would be training the model. Before you even train the model, what you would be doing here is that you would check for your data schema, where your data schema should be one table if you have just one file inside your blob. And if it's going to be a multiple files inside the blob, then you would be giving here as multi-file, multi-table. And it's all been like one table and multi-table. One table refers for just one file, and multi-table refers for multiple tables inside it. So it's the regular way that you would be doing the coding as well, and training the model as well. And post that, what you can do is that you would be connecting the endpoints and everything. And then here what you would do is that here is where the importance actually resides on. So here is where you would be giving the data source URL that what we had created on for the blob, and you would be connecting to that. And post the connection establishment, you would be training the data based on the schema that what it resides on. Once your training and everything is being done, you would now start researching the data in it. And with that, you don't have to specify much on it. And if you just plot the variables, you would be able to have the anomaly detection that has been given. The data in the time series will be in the form of the visualization being displayed here. Since we have the since this is a multivariant anomaly detection, you would have the various kind of possibilities, that various variable that it would be looking for. And that is where you see around 4 to 5 lines that are available, and you would be able to have that in action. So this is something that what we can do with the help of anomaly detection. And with that, I am stepping into the Q&A session for today. And um, please let me know
Particip-
if you have. Yeah.
Participants, you can unmute yourself and you can have questions. You can have a Q&A session for 1 to 2 minutes. So already we have another session at 11 a.m. If you want, you can participate.
And if you want to connect with me post the session as well about any doubts on how to get the anomaly detection being connected, or any kind of queries related to the Azure, you can connect me through my LinkedIn and get in touch over there, and I can answer your queries over there as well. As the time is running up, I just want to let you guys know.
So participants, the link for downloading the certificate and the speaker code is available in the chat. So once again, I will share the screen. So the secret code for downloading the certificate is 5DM9KZ. And the link for downloading the certificate is provided in the chat. You can directly click that link. You will be taken to the dashboard by providing the credentials, and you can click claim certificate link, and after providing the secret code, you will get the link to download the certificate in your respective mail ID. Okay, on behalf of Multi-Cloud for you, we like to thank Bhargavi for providing an excellent session as well as a demo on Azure Cognitive Services. Again, on behalf of Multi-Cloud for you and Putaya community, we like to thank Bhargavi. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Multi-Cloud for you for this opportunity to uh, contribute to the community. I would like to contribute more to the community as well.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you.